Football Marshall is here for you guys with a brand new topic. What's the topic? Where is the digital home of Manchester United? We put some spices up for Manchester United Premier League, but yeah, when it comes to Manchester United, the energy changes, the vibration changes, the frequency picks up. What's the topic today? It's about Ruben Amorim. Will he survive? Why? Why are we talking about this? Because he mentioned that he sees himself in the club for 20 years, right, Adil? 20 years?
Yeah, 20.
2000, what is it, 45?
Yeah, 2045. He said 20. English is a 20. American is 20.
20?
And বাঙালিতে হচ্ছে 20.
20
20 20 বছর থাকতে চায়। What's
চাওয়া চাইতে তো পারে চাইতে পারো যোছো না
hmm.
right
কিন্তু I don't think will he survive 20 games?
big question because প্রথম পাঁচটা game, the first 5 games,
Yes.
the season opener is against Arsenal.
In which they will win 3-1.
Big statement. You sound so confident.
I do sound confident because I think Manchester United are in a better physical state than Arsenal currently, even though Joker is going to score. But I think United will win that. But
strong statement. Joker is scoring. But you're already predicting. Where's your crystal ball? Where's your magic crystal ball?
Sesko and Mbumo scoring on the other end.
Big statements. Big statements.
And Cunha might. So 3-3-1.
So Amorim is sad. What's the problem?
Yeah, that's only the first game. He starts good.
Then
the consistency becomes a problem. Because after the first game, the team's going to figure out his 3-4-3 formation. And if he wants to survive 20 games and if he wants to stay here for 20 years, he needs to be very flexible. There was an interview by Jose Mourinho yesterday, and he was saying that he adapted according to the team's needs. Amorim has not adapted to the team's need. He's bringing in players that he thinks will fit into his 3-4-3 system. I have a feeling the players that he brought in will fit into a 4-3-3 system. I don't think they fit into a 3-4-3 system. If you watched the Everton game and the Fiorentina game, these players struggled. So he needs to, during the season, when the going gets tough, he will need to switch to a 4-3-3 to save this team because he will have no excuses. You have Sesko, you have Mbumo, you have Cunha, you might have a Donnarumma, you might have a Baleba. What else do you need? You shipped out the players that you didn't like. Rashford gone, Garnacho gone, Sancho gone, Antony gone. So Højlund may be going to AC Milan. So what's the big excuse right now? You want to stay in 20 years? Adapt to the team. Look at Alex Ferguson. He played a 4-5-1 at times based on the opposition, based on the players at his disposal. Freaking, he played John O'Shea in center mid. Defensive mid. He won a freaking Premier League title with John O'Shea and Darren Gibson. Remember that. So I think Amorim needs to be flexible if he wants to stay at Manchester United for 20 years. But he needs to have a good start. If he loses to Arsenal, the mood's going to go down. All the stuff that he did in preseason, all the feel-good factor, we have seen this before. Preseason, Manchester United are great. As soon as the season starts, they struggle. The thing goes down. So if they lose to Arsenal, even if they draw to Arsenal, the mood's going to go down. Then they're going away to Fulham. Not an easy game.
Craven Cottage.
Yeah. And then they might turn around against Burnley at home. But then comes the big one on September 14, Manchester City at Etihad. Yeah, at Etihad Stadium. And then if they lose that, then they have Manchester United versus Chelsea at Old Trafford. These are back-to-back games. The mood's I don't think the fans will give him that time, or it will force the board's hands by that point. And then he has to turn it around against Brentford and Sunderland at home. Then the big one comes in on October 18, I think. Yes, it's Liverpool versus away to Liverpool.
But on the road, United has struggled traditionally, ever since Alex Ferguson has left. Yes. We saw in the last couple of seasons also on the road, they absolutely are terrible. And now even going away to Fulham, I wouldn't be confident about that match unless, like you mentioned, they have a great start with Arsenal in the first game.
Yep, and then he will have to do against the teams like Brighton's, the Nottingham Forest. He needs to do good against these teams. Even Tottenham, we lost them to Europa League. That's going to be a spicy one on November 8th. or 6th, November 8th. And then there's an Everton. We just played them in a preseason friendly, but we struggled.
They're gonna kill us at Goodison Park.
Yeah, so Crystal Palaces, the West Hams, the Wolves, the Bournemouths, and then the first 20 game Premier League first 20 game ends with Leeds. It's another derby away to Leeds. So it's on January 7th, right? So he needs to focus on the 20 games. Forget 20 years. That's my take on this, because it's all lovey-dovey. Yeah, I want to be here for 20 years, but you need to get through this season, 20 games, and you're playing one game per week. No more excuses. Forget the FA Cup or League Cup. Play the kids. Get a beating. No, who
Cheeto.
cares? Cheeto, play Cheeto, Obi, and then
Martin.
lose the game, and then focus purely on the Premier League. But I have reservations about his 3-4-3 formation.
It's not just you, it's a lot on Twitter and wherever else I speak to any Manchester United fans. They're just shaking their head constantly as soon as I mention 3-4-3, 3-4-3. They can't take it. And very well said. I think he should not do so much talking. Yeah, it's good to, envision dreams and tell fans to be hopeful and all that. But I think he should just work, just let the work do the talking and not talk much. It's just my what I have to say about that is that's what I would have done if I was the manager of a club that has been struggling, that just came off the worst season ever last season. And even though you're splashing cash and getting all these players in, and in the brink of signing maybe a defensive midfielder also, I would be very skeptical to mention such big words. So yeah, you have absolutely nailed when you say it's focus on the 20 games instead of 20 years.
Yes, and then I'm gonna leave it by saying this. I'm gonna end this by saying this. Antonio Conte was the only manager who was able to win the Premier League with a 3-4-3 formation, but he also struggled up until October with that formation. Then he changed it around, right? No other manager has won the Premier League with a 3-4-3 formation. And we have seen how Inter Milan did against PSG in the final with a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 formation. So PSG played 4-3-3, Chelsea plays 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So please, I don't think it's easy to play 3-4-3 formation with any players, and it's not easy to train them.
Basically, modern football is not equipped for a three-man defense.
Yes. Maybe it's good for Harry Maguire because he gets two center backs to cover his lack of speed. But
what a strategy. Let's build a team around Harry Maguire.
And he's apparently going to end his career at Manchester United. That's the rumor that's been going around. They're going to offer him a new contract. Anyways, but that's besides the point. Ruben Amorim should focus on first 20 games of the Premier League instead of focusing on 20 years of staying as a Manchester United manager. Because if they start bad, the mood's going to change. And it's going to get very difficult for him to be at the job. Same thing that happened with Ole. Ole played some nice football. But once the mood starts changing, things get very difficult. We'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you disagreed with us, please drop a comment. Subscribe to the channel. If you agree with us, let us know.
If you agreed with us, drop a like also.
Take care.